Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is another day in the lives of us black people everywhere in the world. Another day of what can we do for ourselves. Another day of how can we change our destiny as it is. Meager, downtrodden, impoverished, deceived, misled, miseducated, misinformed, miss everything. How can we correct this miss destiny of falsehood, deception, lies, and treachery of my people? How can we do that? We wake up this morning, March the 24th, 2021, to some good news and some bad news. So which should I give you first? Let me give you the good news. Today, early election starts in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. I join the voices of Liberians around America, calling on members of our community in Minnesota to get up, go to the city hall this morning. The address is 5200 5200 85th Avenue, Brooklyn Park, 55443. Make sure you get up this morning. I'm giving you the announcement right now. I think Minnesota is about 3 hours ahead, right? So it's 6, 7, 8, going on 9. So you got some time right now to get up. On your way to work or at work, take a break, take an early break, go down to the city hall, 5200 85th Avenue, Brooklyn Park, 55443. Go down there and cast your early vote for Wayne Russell. Wayne Russell. He may be the only black guy on the ticket. That's the guy you're going to vote for this morning. Okay? Make sure we are part of history. We're part of history in making this man the first black mayor of Brooklyn Park, the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Aluta, go do it. For my people in Liberia, bad news as usual. Who is this Maria Lycan woman? Who is this white woman in Liberia that is leading our government so corrupt? Is she giving something to George Weah then? Is she giving something to the other people other than money? Why is this woman who has been convicted to 20 years imprisonment for stealing 550 Liberian children who have not been accounted for to this very day? Why is she walking around Liberia loose and free and is now in a second case of stealing Liberian people money, hundreds of thousands of money, to some kind of scam, susu thing? And she's still being employed by the government of Liberia, just like St. Moses. I'm just tired with this country and my native people. How can we live under this native regime? These people are native people. They are native. And because they are native, they are leading the native people down the tube and want to take all of us with them. And I'm not going with them. You'll take the Congo people, carry them down the tube for you. All of you belong together. You know, what kind of people are you? Huh? Lawless people. See, Moses killed three children disappear on his watch. The government can't account for those children. The government still working with Moses. Why? Why? This country is lawless. There's no government in this country. The government is a criminal government. So we need to get away. This is the government that Ben and I didn't want to lead. I don't care about Alec Cummings. Alec Cummings can lead anything he want to lead. I don't care about that man. The Ellen Johnson people. They're the same people put her into this mess. They got to be the same people got to get out this. But I see Ben and I, you're there fighting, talking about he won't be president of Liberia, sitting down there, people calling him Papi, Papi. You better get from one of those useless people and get some sense in your damn head too, Ben and I. You stupid dead of the people. Now all of you are just like a bunch of dummies in the bag, just checking you around, you know. Then you're talking about leading Liberia. That's the kind of leadership you want for your country. Huh? You got all these criminals running around talking about Lebanese Rambo and all these people in our country running around our country. Is this the country you want me to come back to? So useless people. So useless native people selling everything you got. You're still selling things from 1822 to this very day. You own nothing. Everything is country. And your country people ain't own a damn thing. So what all this country thing about? You're useless. And that's my first topic today. I might as well just start since I'm talking about the useless leadership. Failed Liberian leadership. My second topic. Where did we go wrong from 1980 to this very day and date? And number 3, a Liberian's dream. So let me start with this useless debacle of a leadership we call leadership here. Okay? This failed, useless native government. This native government has failed since 1980 to this very day. And you will never improve because you people are natives. You are not united. You are 16 different tribes who cannot accept the fact that you are natives. You are different. You are not one. You can lie and deceive yourself all the way and come together and say you're one. Look up at Zimbabwe right now. He's pointing out all the cruel people and Eastern people in the government. He said they got a top position, the same position Ellen Johnson selling her children. And she accused George Weah, she accused Sammy Doe of nepotism, and Torbo of nepotism. And she come and put her three children in power, and you native people stay under her and serve this woman. And all the wickedness that going on in the country today, our children dying. No electricity in the country. Look at the people still striking, blocking the traffic because no electricity for years. Look at our country. Up country. The doctor do 22 surgeries and 19 people of the 22 people die. What kind of doctor you got there? Veterinarian? Cat doctor? Dog doctor? Because those 3 people who survived, that must be from their finger wound or something, their finger surgery or something, or their hand surgery. That can't be no major surgery. If 19 people dying, then people come here and talking about, oh, follow American history. Plenty of people die in America daily. They test people. Yeah. Y'all keep testing those guinea pigs up there in up country, Sino country, and y'all keep dying. You go to the hospital room, you're not sure you'll come out. 22 people go in. Only 3 people come out. What kind of condition do they come out in? Are they really safe? Are they suffering aftermaths? We don't know all those things. Y'all come here and act like this native government do anything for us. Look at all our country. Everything the mayor and they say he breaking ground for this, breaking all the ground breaking can end up to nothing. Listen to all the promises George Weah made that have never been seen, that have never come to fruition. You think everywhere you go and break ground and make promises that can never end up in anything good means anything to people? Look at all the promises he made to bring light to this community, to bring school to this community, to bring books to this community, to bring education to... Nothing has transpired. This is nativism. Native government. These are people better than how you don't want to lead. You can't lead these kind of people. These people got to suffer to come to their own senses that their living standard is bad. They got to go down more, go down more. They haven't gone down enough. They stay eating. They stay breathing. Let it go down some more and suffer. Let there be no food. Let there be no air. Then they will realize that they got a native government, that the native people can't help them. But as long as they think that native people can help them and the life they're living is progress and advancement, why Ben and I you won't put here in these people think? Huh? Why you want to put your hands in these people think? Why you want to lead a bunch of dummies? Let the people suffer. Let their own people kill them. Let George Weah starve them. Let him kill them, man. Let him kill them. Joe did it. They didn't learn. They went to interim government. Now they got another dummy. He doing it to them. They still think that development. Why you want to put your hands in these people think better than you? Why are you making us shame? Why are you portraying yourself like a dummy, like the dummies? Now I look at you every day, you look like a real dummy. You're so sick and weak. You know, you're walking around talking about the Opa. What kind of Opa are you? That the kind of Opa you want to be? Hurting your hair over the useless people? Putting your children in all these things? I will go over again better now. Because you don't deserve to be in this nasty thing. You need to take your hair out of this thing now. Let the people run their stupidness. They got George Weah. That a man they deserve. Why are you following these native people? Why we got to put ourselves with these people time and time again? And let me tell you, my people, when I talk about not leaving people behind, when I talk about taking out my men and not leaving them behind, you know why when I leave them behind? Because all of them supposed to be trained like me. So if we all train, there is no way we can be dummies to let our people die when we have the intellect to save the ship. Why would the ship sink when all of us are training, the same training? Whether you fat or not. If you fat in the army, you must have gotten fat there after your boot camp or your training. Because nobody going through training in the military will be fat. Because every school you go to, you got to run, you got to wake up, you got to do push-up, you got to do the military thing every school. So you can't say you going through schools and getting certain level of training and discipline, you get fat. You can't get fat. Because you get fat, you will suffer. because you got to perform. Whether you fat or not, if you got duty to do, you got to perform. So if I have a fat man on my ship, it's because of something with his health, he can't exercise. But his work is important on that ship. So we can't let him die either. So that's the level Liberian people got to rise to when we say we'll leave no man behind. We'll leave no man behind because every man is trained. Every man is qualified to be on that mission. So how would I leave my qualified people behind? They better get their ASS's up and fix that ship so we can all go home. Or else we all die. There is no way. There's no way we'll leave anybody behind. But we only get that mentality when we all reach a level of proficiency. Proficiency. That means we can perform. We are good. We're performing beyond a standard that other people cannot perform to. That is our training, our discipline. And our country can't continue to be led by useless people, man. Useless people. We've been through this forced political thing for 200 years. We've been through the lying thing. You know, and I like Zawiya. Zawiya is my man, Zawiya. But Zawiya doesn't have the intellect of our history. We can respect him for his experience. But that experience does not translate into leadership. No. Because Zawiya comes and tells us that we never, in 200 years, we never had election. That's a lie. That's a blatant lie. That's a man who don't know Liberian history. His Liberian history starts with his experience of life and knowing life, because he doesn't have the degree to analyze the situation around him. All the meetings he talked about being in jail with Barcos, Matthew, them, yes, he was one of the followers, one of the main supporters. Zawiya always been loyal, but he is not leader material. If you want to know historical facts, go to people who made history, not people who followed people in history. So his knowledge of what happened in Liberia is limited. And that's why I will take on my next topic. But if we rely on Zawiya knowledge as knowledge for our young children, we are deceiving them too. Because he's teaching them things that he doesn't know about. He's not telling them, well, I don't know about past, after Totman and before Totman and all of that. He's telling them from 1947 to 1980, we never had election. And that is a blatant lie. From 1847 until Totman time, we had election. That's why we always change government and presidents. That's why we have President Joseph Jimmy Roberts, Stephen Allen, Benson, and all those people were presidents from election. It was Totman who changed our election to stay in power for 30 years. Because before Totman, nobody could go there after 2 terms. When Totman got there, he manipulated it with Barclay to change the term to serve indefinitely. That means you don't have to have 2-term limit. You could be, as long as people want you, they could vote for you. That's why Totman stayed there nearly 30 years. Because they changed the 2-term policy for him to stay there. And you'll see what it did to our country. It destroyed it. It destroyed it because everything that our country became Totman's. And we couldn't differentiate what was Totman's from what was for the Liberian people. And this is where all the corruption come in, because when you can't distinguish the leader's property from the people's property, all of that property becomes the people's property, not the leaders. So Tottenham Farm, not for Tottenham, it's for the Liberian people. All those places there for the Liberian people, because we cannot distinguish what is Tottenham's from what is Liberian people, because of his prolonged stay in the government of the Republic of Liberia. And you see, these are the things we got to bring to our senses. We got to bring the truth of educated people to our table. Zawiya is not an educated person. And if y'all keep following Zawiya, y'all will get beside the story that will keep leading y'all to this tribalism and then negativism and all of that. Because that's not how things happen in Liberia. Even with the 1980 coup, all he can talk about is Doe. That was somebody asked him during his interview, did Doe do anything wrong? Zawiya will not say Doe did anything wrong. He will not say Bacchus Mafia didn't do anything wrong. But they all did wrong. And we'll get into that. So when our leadership has been wrong for so long, and not all our people were wrong. Yes, our initial leadership did not inculcate all the tribes into our government. Why? Because of the wars. Because of the initial divisions we had, which was so great. We came to get Masurado. Some of the tribes joined us. We needed to increase our land mass. All the British or French were taking it over. So we decided to increase it to bring more people on a free black government. And that's why we had expeditions to go up country. And our expeditions were not as powerful as the British and the French, who were competing with time and time again. And those are the essences of our history that Zawiya them don't know. They have no knowledge about. They had no knowledge about the white slavers that were trying to enslave our hinterland. That we had to fight time and time again from Monrovia to stop the encroachment of the British and the French. How could we do it? Only with the American flag. You think Britain and France respected Liberian flag? Liberia was nothing. But when we had the American flag behind us, we were an independent nation of Negro people, American slaves. So they couldn't touch us. And that's why we're never colonized. And all those blessings, our native people don't see it. Or all of them will be British and French people today. You think there will be 16 tribes living together? There will not be 16 tribes living together. There will be under the British Empire. And all of you will be tribal people, but one British people. You think all the things our tribal people try in Liberia, they can try in Sierra Leone? They can't try it. They're trying it in France because the French people don't want to get too involved in Africa no more. But where the British people got their crown colony, you ain't going to try that. The British military be there from India, from China, from Japan, all of them. That's part of the British Empire. From Nigeria, everywhere be jumping on you. So we're the only independent country that depend on only one source, America. We can't depend on a Nigerian. We can't depend on a Ghanaian. We can't depend on that. Our dependence on them come through the ECOWAS, through the African Union. For how? That's where we weigh their loyalty. How loyal are our British colonial partners in Africa to the African Union as to the British Empire. Would they stand with us during real crisis as the African Union, or they gotta wait to take command from the Queen or from France before they act? So we have no real Africa. We have no real Africa. We are the only country in Africa that we can say we colonially free. Because America, when they're ready, they say they have no connection to us, they don't need us. So we can't depend on America. We could never depend on America. They need us for convenience. We are friends of convenience. So we don't have no real friends. All the other African countries got British connection, French connection. They're all in some kind of Commonwealth or Commonwealth or Uniwealth or some kind of BS foreign union or something, because there's no Africa. The African Union is a sham. African leaders have no power. Why do you think they can enslave us all over the world and make all kind of laws to impugn us? White people get together and change any laws they want to change around the world to enslave black people. Why do you think? Because we in Africa are enslaved. We are enslaved because our leaders and people are useless. They prefer wearing gray wigs and stupid and hot things in the winter sun, in the heat in Africa, than being leaders of their country, bowing down to the queen and one kissing the queen ring and all those kind of things, and sending all the wealth of Africa to Europe and France and all those kind of things for them to electrify their countries than us. So the wealth is not equally distributed. And our leaders in our country don't seek after the wealth that's owed us abroad. They seek the wealth of our poor people by squeezing their throats, stepping on their necks. Then as soon as they get the money, they're ready to steal it. All the money just disappear overnight. And they don't want anybody talking about it. But my children, this is the kind of leadership we got. Even if when the light comes, the privileged few get it. Look at how they take the life from the poor community and give it to the rich community. Give it to people who working for government. Give it to all the big shot areas. But the poor shot area, you're in the dark. That's where the robbers and all those people linger. So there's no hope for you. You're left, you're the sacrificial lambs. And this has always been the state in Liberia. That's what we can develop. And every time we take two steps, people come and foreigners come and fool us. And we rise up and overthrow our government and kill our leaders. And what happened to us? We start all over again. We're ignorant children. We got the whole ignorant society. Where everybody coming up thinking they can be leaders with our education. You know, they can use what they know to lead our people. And they don't know anything that matters. So young children, when we deceive ourselves and allow ourselves to be deceived by tribal people who tell us the same thing over and over, and we can see there's no good results, but we keep believing in these people and trusting them and thinking they will free us when they have been tried before and didn't free us. When shall they free us? So the recircling of the same leaders, the same people, we still can't see no roads in our city. We can't see no lights in our area. We can't see no change We can't see no meaningful change. And these people keep telling us they're doing things for us. They're doing things for us. And they're doing things for us. How long will we stay fools and ignoramuses to the ploys of the deceivers? Let me take a break. I'll be back.
Hello, and welcome to the Pepperbird Magazine. Did you know that the Pepperbird Magazine has been in existence for over 25 years, and we're still going strong? I invite you to take an ad on our internet magazine, which is very, very useful during COVID days. So please, give us a call. We'll come and have a quick chat with you and video you and your business. Look at the number below.
Welcome back. Where did we go wrong from 1980 to this very day and date? Where did we go wrong? Now, I listened to Pasawi on the Liberia online show, one of the shows, and he spoke from his experience of what happened in 1980. My experience of 1980 was different. I wasn't in the struggle with those guys. I was trying to set my police career on the right path before I went to police school so I could know something about policing on the professional level. So I bugged my father, and finally, because he didn't know why I wanted to be a police. Nobody, friends, all the people, none of them wanted to be police. So when I got there, I saw Murphy Dennis there. There's the Secretary of State son, the Minister of Foreign Affairs son. He was into the policing too. So we got there. But we were different. I was different from him. He was liked by Bunner and Mr. Alexander Bunner. He was the head of the OAU security that we're in. Our job was to protect the OAU site where all the government officials from foreign nations were going to stay for the OAU, because Tauber was the chairman of the OAU that year. And the city was bustling, man. I mean, Liberia was up there. I mean, the money was flowing in the city. Everything was going on, getting ready for the OAU. So I was a training officer at the OAU. I had to interview people and all of that. So I was doing that day when this soldier came in called Jebo. I didn't meet Jebo, but I had experienced something with him earlier at the NSA when I went to get my pass to go to the OAU. The soldier was so rude and disruptive. Oh man, I couldn't believe that were Liberian soldiers. And I knew the Liberia was going to have a problem right there. Because I was at the bottom, the NSA building was up the hill, up, what the place name? Somalia Drive, up that way, they were up the hill. And I was walking up there to get my pass. I was at the bottom of the hill. And I could hear the soldiers yelling from the top of the hill to the, I mean, it was so disgusting. I was wondering, who are these people yelling at this? And I was coming up the hill. And when I look, I saw the soldiers sitting all in the cars, just walking out there, yelling, talking. I mean, it was a shameful, disgusting sight. And as I got closer to them and I got in the building, I was too scared to say anything to them because I didn't want to beat me up, not knowing who I am. So when I walk in there, I was looking at them and I heard this person yell from the third floor, "What the?" When that guy yelled, every soldier that was on that floor shut up immediately. You could hear a pin drop. I said I couldn't believe that a Liberian man had that kind of power. And who was that? Captain Jebo. Jebo was the only U.S. trained ranger in Liberia, a Liberian soldier. That guy was a real soldier, man. I mean, when I saw that guy, he was buff. I mean, you could see every muscle in the man body through his uniform. That's how muscular the man was. I saw this hell of a monster coming down the stairs. Boom, boom. All the soldiers shut up. Not one person opened their mouth. I was just looking at this guy. I said, who is this guy? I had never seen a Liberian with such power. I was just looking at him. I fell in love with the guy, man. I fell in love with Devil. So I was at the OAU site this day doing my review of the trainees we were going to hire and all of that. And this soldier walked in with his bodyguards, two other people beside him. He said, "I'm Captain Jebo. I'm here to..." My door was right in the hallway. I could see straight to the front door. And when I turned around, I saw my man at the door. I jumped I just ran straight to him. I said, "My man, who are you?" He said, "I'm General Jebo." So he called his first name. I can't remember Jebo's first name. But I said, "My man," I said, "I saw you at the end." I said, "My man, I like you too much, man." He said, "Oh, yeah?" He said, "Okay, what's your name?" I told him my name. He said, "You my Peking Chesson." He grabbed me, he hugged me. And from that day, I was Jebo Peking. I had passed to go in the OAU to eat. I took get the pass to Murphy sometimes because he used to like going there with Bunner. They were the big boys. I wanted to be with the soldiers. So I never used to see Murphy most of the time. Murphy used to eat in the Hotel Africa. We had tickets to go there. My father used to give me a booklet to go to eat there too. I wanted to eat. I took that booklet and gave it to Murphy. I said, "You go eat there." So he used to go there with all his buddies, big show. Man, I was with the soldiers. So I used to go in the sun to eat with Jebo then. Go eat the kobo. So we're all sitting there eating the kobo one day, and Jebo said, "We got to kill these Congo people and take over this country." And when he said that, I turned to him, I said, "What are you talking about, Jebo?" Then he looked at me, he said, "Oh, Chester, you my PQ, man. Don't worry. You're taken care of." I said, "My man, no, I can't hear you say that kind of thing and sit down with you." I knew right there, if that no other guy, the guy was going to kill me. They're going to plot to kill me because I was a threat to them. But to Jebo, I wasn't a threat. He knew I wasn't. He knew I liked him. And Jebo used to like me too. So he said, my man, no, you my picky, man. Don't worry, nothing will happen to you." I said, "Jebo, but you can't sit here and talk that kind of thing. You know my father, a minister. You know my people running the country. You can't talk that kind of thing." I said, "I like you." And when I said nothing about it, but I can't sit in this group again. Because anything happened, I want to say I was involved with this. I said, "But you my man." I said, "You my man." I can't say nothing. But I warned my pa. I told my pa 4 times that they were going to be overthrown. He kept asking me why, telling me they got Fanny Dempster and all these people. I kept thinking, I said, "Those people, they're not ready. They're not ready. Those are highfalutin people. They want to go eat in the best places. They forget that they got men out there. Sometimes they got to be among their men." And when you don't understand that about leadership, about leading men in military uniform or in uniform and building esprit de corps and building and morale of your men. Those are things that build morale. If you're a leader who don't care about your men, how would they care about you? And those are the things that make the American military great. Not so much because of the power and the guns and all that, no. Because of the empathy of the leaders, knowing that you got men under you. And those men rely on you for anything, everything, because that's how they are trained to follow the chain of command. And if the chain of command is slack and weak or insensitive to the needs of the men, we have men who are insensitive to the need of the nation and the people and the government. And that's what destroys our leadership. The greed of the few. You forget of the needs of the people that are suffering, the people that are really doing the job and need to be paid. They need to be paid. If a man going to be in the cold and in the rain doing the job, you got to pay that man. You got to pay that man. Yes, you're getting a salary, but that man got to get a wage. A salary is something you gotta go. You gotta work on weekends. You gotta work nothing to give you enough money to make you comfortable to oversee people that you don't have to go out there. And even if you go out there, you're entitled to overtime pay. And those are technical people. To our water, our plumbers, all the technical workers. That's why they work on wages. Because when you got a system set up where people are honest, where people are expected to care about other people above themselves, and to know that if you don't care about the other people, you'll be punished. But when we have a system that doesn't punish people, that's the problem. And this was all culminated to 1980. It all culminated to 1980. Yes, we had a leadership structure, but the people who are our military and security and police did not care about those people. Did not care about their security and their needs and their education. Because those people, first priority, besides work, was opportunity to excel in their positions, in the positions open to them, both online and both in administration. So they can have opportunity to excel. So you open schools to them. You build military schools. You get an opportunity so that children can grow up trying to be military too, trying to follow in their footsteps. And knowing that the military is a source of survival. Everybody don't got to go to school. You can go to school in the military. Take your time. You know you won't finish high school. You won't rush. You sure you're getting a pay. You got housing, free housing. You can buy your car. You can live your life. But you also have the opportunity to pursue college education. And no military can do that. That is not equipped to do it in the civil society too. If you can't do it in the civil society, how you do it in the military society? You can't do it. Because you got to take care of the civil society first. And that's what divides the military from the civil society. That what makes the military distinct and separate. Because the military is supposed to be trained to be professionals. And that is where my last topic is coming to. So let me just get into that, because when we come, all of these things brought us to 1980. All the ills of our government, all the ills that were done to our military and security people, we took advantage of them. We didn't raise them to consciousness. to understand that they can rise to any position in our country too. Not because you're military, but when you serve, you're given the best opportunities. Yes, you have chance. If we can't have military college, the military people will have chance to go to LU, to go do different things. And this what was lacking in our society. All the Congo people wanted to be administrators, judges, lawyers. That's why my father was confused when I told him I wanted to be police. That I wanted to be with the men in the trenches. He couldn't believe it. He said, "That what you want to do?" You know, how many times my pa asked me that question. That what you want to do? That what you want to do? I said, yes. And it freaked him out. Because only a few of us were thinking about military. And not like the Toba children, where their pa just put in the military. You know? I was preparing to go to military academy, a police academy. Not military. But God switched it around and sent me into military, which is even much better. Because there's a whole set of knowledge and education in the military area that doesn't even, the police doesn't even touch. So that was one of the things we went wrong. We overlook our military. We overlook the people that were protecting us every night with guns, calling them locals, not taking care of them. And it got so bad to the point where Torbert brought in Guinean soldiers over Liberian soldiers. That's the greatest error you could ever make as a president of Liberia. To bring another African neighboring country in to be over our soldiers. I wouldn't have done that. That in itself, in and of itself, may have led to Toba overthrow. That was a slap in the face to every local in the military. How you bring Guinea soldiers to put them over Liberian soldiers? And those Guinea soldiers walking all around Liberia like commandos and things like that. I was like, I saw them. It was disgusting. Toba didn't trust his own military. None of his family did. His son was in the military too. He didn't even trust his own son. So how can you run the government like that? That means they weren't trained enough. I told you how I talked to our man Tokope, all my boys from my area know Jones, Tokope Jones. Our boy, he was captain in the army. And when I saw all the things going down around 1980, we were all sitting there drinking beer and stuff like that. I asked Tokope, I said, Pig, when the war starts, what you going to do? Pig told me, the man captain in the army, he told me, oh man, in less than 10 minutes, the US be here. I said, US? He said, yeah, man, 10 minutes, the US be here. I said, man, you kidding me. He said, what do you mean, I'm kidding you? I said, man, you a captain. I expect you to say I would jump up, take my men, and we'll run to the border and trash those people. We'll trash them. You telling me you sit down here and wait for U.S. Army to come before you move? He started getting mad. I said, man, don't get mad at me, man. Don't get mad at me. The other people say you're military, then you're sitting before me, telling me the soldiers in an uprising come in the country, the U.S. military will come from 5,000 miles and come to Liberia to save you, and you are captain of the military. And that is the same thing with our people today. That is the same thing with our people today. Because we're not trained. We're not trained like we are soldiers. So when we come, we got to bring a different idea to our society, a completely different idea, a disciplinary idea. Our society has never been disciplined. People just do what they want to do. In a small country like Liberia, that can't happen. Too much nepotism, too much favoritism, too much tribalism. That's the same nepotism. All of that, we got to do away with that, man. We got to do away with that. You think I care you come from the southeastern or the northeastern or northwestern? I don't care. And you will see it. Oh, I care, but can you do it? Yes? Take the ham, let's go. You tell me you can't do it, you can do it, and you can't do it, I'm going to stomp you. I'm going to stomp you. Because you see, I know I'm not the lawyering type. I will not fool myself in because I got a law degree, I go into court. I'm not that type. Yes, I know the law. I can defend myself in court. I will go if I got to go. I ain't hiring nobody. I know enough to go myself. I just got to get advice from other lawyers. No lawyer can go there in court say he's pleading for himself or seeking advice from other lawyers. I can do that on the outside before I go to court. But not every lawyer want to practice law. I'm not the practicing law type. Ask anybody but me in Liberia. I've always been the police type. Nobody will tell you, oh, Chesson, you want to in law school. I didn't go to court. I did other things. Our ID card director, what I going to court for? But my law is helpful in every area I serve. That's the advantage of getting educated. When you reach a certain level of education, that's what, for me, I did political science in my first degree. Political science is nothing. It's nothing. When you go political science, anybody can do political science and do any job. Any job. You can fit it anywhere. That's a social science. So you advance yourself from there into law or into a specialty that will give you a special concentration. So anybody can do political science, but anybody can do law. So law is a profession. I don't have to go to school no more. When I get tired talking today, I jump up one day, I say, I think I should go practice law now. I'm a member of the Bar Association. Go pay my bar dues. I get practice again. Every time I enter Liberia, I pay 3 years bar dues to bring my bar practice up to date. Every time I enter Liberia, I pay for 3 years, bring my bar license up to date. Because when I'm in Liberia, I'm a lawyer. So I want to be able to enter any court and practice. So I bring my law license up to date. So I'm a member of the Bar Association. So if you challenge me, go to the Bar Association, you will see I'm a registered lawyer. And those are the things we do to keep the status quo going on. That's why people get professions, 6 second degrees. But we have to understand that we have to change our society itself. Our society went wrong. The things we did before, we can't do it now. We got to develop professionals. We got to go to the nitty-gritty. And that will bring me to my third point. Let me just take a break. My third topic is a Liberian's dream. And I took this topic from Leo Johnson, his podcast. What I think, man? Online radio, is that Liberia Online, I think. Liberia Online. So he had the opportunity. I listened to him this morning. I saw it before, but I didn't have the time to listen to the info. But I knew about his ideas. Some of his ideas are good, but within it, there are little flaws that have to be worked out. If you go to his site, I listed some of them there about our customary laws he was talking about and all the things how to relate to our society today. And these are the same things I'm talking about. What is our dream? Because Leo Johnson, Nipolo Johnson, listed all the things we have been through. And we haven't changed. And we come down to the same new system. And we're treading on the same lines that haven't changed our society. We see that there's a problem, but we're not finding innovative ways to change the problem. He talked about us finding innovative ways for building our society. He talked about changing LU from a university to a technical college. Nothing wrong with that. And I don't see why we can't keep it at both. The University of Liberia and technical college. Because there are people who will get master's degree, PhD degree, they should be afforded that opportunity too. There should be people, we need a lot of technicians, yes, and that was a very good point he raised. Everybody in Liberia can't be lawyer. Everybody in Liberia can't be doctor. Everybody in Liberia can't be economist, can't be political scientist. They're taking the shortcut. Even if you got money to pursue those jobs, those type of education, they don't gain you no jobs. You got to learn something else. The technical college idea is good. It's almost like the same thing like vocational training. That's the same thing. How do we translate our people's lives from what is the only possibility that they have right now to giving them advanced opportunities beyond just the classrooms? How do we do that? We got to augment the vocational training of our people. We got to encourage more people not to go to college for a degree, but go get a quick certificate in plumbing, in masonry, masonry, wherever you can do. Get a training in it. Then that will change those professions from just local things, local handy jobs into professional jobs. Because if you got people going to school to be masons and electricians and not doing on the side, when companies come into our country looking for plumbers, those will be standards that the government can impose for in hiring those people. You must have a college degree. You must have a technical college degree. So then that raises it to a level that your pay standard can relate to your educational degree. So if you don't have degrees, if you're just a handyman, the people can offer you anything. But if you have a certificate from a technical college saying that you are professionally trained in bricklaying, that you have insurance, that if you take a job and you mess it up, you will pay for it. That's what comes with professional licensing. When you have that, that gives you a standard for demanding pay for your profession. So then when the good companies come to Liberia, they will be compelled to hire Liberians with technical college degrees or vocational college. It doesn't have to be technical college. We can still keep University of Liberia and open a vocational school. But when we do that, admission into university will be limited. Because when we're going to change our school system to a technical college, we'll make sure that the regular universities cannot be overcrowded. So every classroom will have to meet a certain number of students. So if you know a hall is big and a hall can take 50, 60 people, that's a limit for who will be admitted into that class. So you know there will be no cheating. You can't stop it in a way, but you can prevent it. You know there will be no cheating. It will be difficult. They're being caught cheating. They'll be suspended. There will be cameras in the room. All these things to monitor the progress of our people. Then we can have a vocational school on the side where we can hire Liberian professionals, Liberian who are working with bone mine, who retire from all these places and have professional diplomas or the professional certificate for going to school in Europe for mechanism. Because these people, these foreign companies send their people abroad for school and training. So when you retire, you can be hired by Liberians local vocational school. Your pay, when I meet foreign teachers' pay, no Liberian teacher pay with me foreign teacher pay. You can't, because foreign teachers, we got to pay them for coming into the country, resettlement, adjusting, everything to stay there, because we want professional people come. We want to encourage professional people. But that doesn't mean we neglect our local teachers. So all of that need to be considered. He talked about customary laws. Yes, we got customary laws of country, but there are problems with customary laws. Under our legal system, we got 4 systems of law. We don't have 2 systems. We have 4 systems of laws. Okay? We got the Commonwealth. We got a Constitution. We got the Constitution. We got a common law. We got a customary law. We got different kind of laws. What are the other laws we got? We got medical laws. We got different types of laws. But the basic laws in Liberia are constitutional, common law, civil law, and what the law name? Customary law. Civil includes, was it civil including criminal and all of that in the day. But those are the basic laws we have. So all of those laws have limitation. The constitutional law is the law of the land. It supersedes every law in the land. The common law is only used where there are no other laws, and the Constitution is silent on it. Then we look to laws that we incorporate into our Liberian jurisprudence, which is American jurisprudence. That's why we look at American law, because our laws are similar to American laws. Our legal jurisprudence is built on American jurisprudence. So if our Constitution has no ruling, no precedence, our local laws have no precedence, then we don't even go to customary laws. Customary laws are the last laws we go to, because they are not civilized laws. We go to civilized laws first. So we go to common law. Common law is judge law. It's law made on the reason of the judge. In the olden days, they didn't have no courts. That they had common law. The judge would go out and make decisions based on common sense, reasoning. So those became common laws. But the common laws are not final laws. They are just laws of precedence. You can appeal those laws to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court will have to develop their reasoning on the collective legal knowledge to decide that case. Because that case is decided by one judge. So you have the Supreme Court with many judges looking at this one judge decision to determine whether it should be the law of the land. If they concur with it, it's the law of the land. If they change it, their changes become the law of the land. So then from there we have criminal law, which only looks at crime. It doesn't look at tortious intent. Tortious intent are wrongdoing, simply wrongdoing like you assault and battery. Those are not crimes. Those are misdemeanors. So you can't bring them up to the criminal level. So all those things are different from crimes. So if there are laws on it, the court can decide on it. If not, you got to take it to the Supreme Court too. So when judge makes law, it becomes judge-made laws. And those are laws we depend on. Now we have the circuit court. Under the circuit court, you have criminal and civil laws in them. And those are the laws that are decided. Coming down to customary laws. Customary laws are basically social laws, misdemeanors, tortious acts, wrongful doing, that they can decide right in the society. Every society got rules for fighting. Those are public policy rules. So when you have rules of society, the country devil can do it. The country devil can be the lawmaker. He can serve as a judiciary or as a magistrate, as a justice of the peace. But where the country devil begins to interfere with our modern electoral processes, with our modern developmental legal processes, there is a problem. That's why we separate crime from customary laws. Crimes are different. So when we have those differentiations in our laws, we cannot rely on the lowest kind of law to be the law for certain parts of our country. And this is what happened to the election with Bowie, what her name, and that lady who were running for in Bapolo, and they called the country devil up, and no women could come up, no men could come up. The officials went and took the ballot boxes. That cannot go on during electoral processes. Those are crimes. And those fall under the laws. Certain things the country devil can do will be crimes. And we have to understand those things. So this is to conclude my lesson. My hour is done. Everything that happened in 1980 to this very day must change. Everything must change. Our native leaders must understand that Liberia cannot be ruled by 16 tribal men and people. Everybody wanted to lead at the same time. We can't. We can't talk about a government that has over 100 plus officials, but we call 3 or 4 from the Southeast and name them as being problematic appointments, when there are other people appointed from other counties. So we got a serious problem to deal with still for 1980. Still for 1980. Our society is still totally illiterate. Our children are totally uneducated still. The same problems we had and we're working on. We still have these problems. They haven't been eliminated. So how can we go any further when the same problems we had from 1980 to today still exists, still haunt us, still problematic. The time of the Liberian people is now. I see I got 2 notices here. Let me see them. Whoever assesses somebody is not educated. But anyway, this is the truth of the matter. This is the truth of the matter. We got to deal with our country from our own perspective. And I agree with Leo Johnson to a point. We got to seriously think about vocational education, about technical colleges. We can change Liberia, America, and University of Liberia and make it a part technical college and still keep the university aspect, but control the numbers of people that will enter that part of the university and focus on the technical aspect, the building feasible jobs for people. That will be realistic opportunities, that will garner realistic opportunities, plumbers, masons, electricians. We need these people now. Look at all the lights we need in our country. We need qualified people to work with LEC, to put our lights out, to protect our country from theft. We got to hire all these people. So we have a lot of work to do. And let's continue to consider him each and every day. And that's why some of us try to point these things out, because if we don't do it, we'll always be left behind. Have a good day, my people.
Hello, and welcome to the Pepperbird Magazine. Did you know that the Pepperbird Magazine has been in existence for over 25 years, and we're still going strong? I invite you to take an ad on our internet magazine, which is very, very useful during COVID days. So please, give us a call. We'll come and have a quick chat with you and video you and your business. Look at the number below.
Sounds right.